ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनं। ॐ श्री चिन्मयसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम, a very warm welcome. ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 86 ॐ सुवर्णबिन्दुरक्षोभ्यः सर्ववागीश्वरेश्वरः महाह्रदो महागर्तो महाभूतो महानिधिः कुमुदः कुन्दरः कुन्दः पर्जन्यः पावनो नीलः अमृतांशोऽमृतवपुः सर्वज्ञः सर्वतोमुखः Sulabha suvrata siddha shatrujichatrutāpanah Nyagrodhodumbaro shvattaschanurandranishodhanah. Yesterday we completed till here. We will proceed to the next shloka, the 89th shloka. Before we proceed, I would like to make this announcement. Please note it carefully. We will be completing this series and we will also be completing the Vishnu Sahasranama talks in this series. We will complete it by the 9th of July, and on the 10th of July we will have a live Samarpana program at the same time. At the same time, we will have the Samarpana program on the 10th of July, which happens to be a Sunday. Since we have to cover a little extra shlokas, tomorrow onwards, we will have this session for 1 hour instead of 45 minutes. I repeat, from tomorrow, we will have the session for 1 hour instead of 45 minutes. With this note, we will continue today. Om Sulabha Suvrata Siddha Shatrujit Chatrutapanah Nyagrodhodumbaro Shvattaschanurandranishodhanah. This is where we completed yesterday. Continuing. Sahasrarchis saptajihvas saptaidha saptabahanah Amurtirana chintyo bhayakrid bhayanashanah. Sahasrarchis saptajihvas saptaidha saptabahanah Amurtirana chintyo bhayakrid bhayanashanah. The 9 namas in the shloka begins with Sahasrarchihi, the 826th nama. Acharya says, Sahasrani anantani archimshi yasya saha sahasrarchihi. One who has 1,000, in a manner of saying sahasra, otherwise endless rays. Archimshi means rays. Like how we have the Surya Kirana, Chandra Kirana ityadi, but Bhagavan is that enlivener of all the rays of this illumining and illumined Jagat. The universe is illumined by so many rays of light, and Bhagavan is the source of all light. Therefore, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Divi Surya Sahasrasya. Meaning, Divi Surya Sahasrasya. Of all the thousands of luminaries, I am that light. I am that rays. Sahasrani Anantanyarchimshi Yasya Saha. Sapta Jihvaha. Jihva means tongue. Sapta Jihva means 7 tongues. What is that? How come Bhagavan has got 7 tongues? Sapta Jihvaha Asya Santi iti Sapta Jihvaha. The one who has 7 tongues of flames. That is why, whenever somebody gives a very strong speech, we say he gave a fiery speech. And even in the colloquial languages, we say there is fire in his mouth. He speaks very, sometimes even if people say somebody speaking very harsh words or hard words, then also we say he has got fire in his mouth, etc. That means what? The tongue is what matters, which is meant here. And what are the 7 flames of this tongue? Shastra give a description. Kali, the black one. Karali, the frightening one. These are all the various qualities which we see. Manojava, the swift one, fast. Sulohita, the red one. Sudhumravarna, the smoky one. Dhumra means smoky. Spulingini, the one which is very sparkling. Vishwarupi, the one that moves around. These are all the 7 types of tongues, they say. And Bhagavan has got all of them, therefore he is called as Saptajihvaha. Saptaidhaha. What is Edhaha? Edhaha means Deeptayaha. Again, here it is talked of flames as far as the lighting is concerned. The one who has 7 flames as Agni or as fuel, especially used for all the rituals. In the rituals, there are so many factors. Among them, there is a Agni. The Agni Devata is invoked, and then Agni is lit in the Homakunda. And there are 7 types of Agni, Samagri, Ityadi. Therefore, and all of them are considered as Brahman. Therefore, Saptaidhaha. And this is a very interesting word, Saptavahanaha. What are the Saptavahanaha? Sapta Ashwaha Vahanani Asyaiti. The Vahana, the chariot of Bhagavan, has got Sapta Ashwaha. Ashwaha means horses. Sapta Ashwaha, the one which is tied with 7 horses. We see in so many pictures, like Surya Devata has got 7 horses. And therefore Bhagavan, who is in the form of Surya Devata, has got a chariot with 7 horses. And also Saptanama Ekaha Ashvaha. The another meaning is Saptanama. The name of the horse is Sapta, and that is only one Ashva. Ashvaha Vahanamasya itiva. Therefore, one Vahana, one horse, which is called as Sapta, is also indicated as Saptavahanaha, and here it is Adityaha. Is a main deity here which is indicated, and Aditya is also what? Nothing but Brahman only. Then there is another version which is not depicted here. Vahanaha is to indicate even the Vedas. Bhagavan uses the Veda as the Vahana to reach people, is one version which is said. And what are the Saptavahanaha? One is Sadhyam and Sadhana, Karyam and Karana, Devataha, Dharma and Swarupa. Now, if you see the Vedas, all these are talked about. One is Karyam, Karanam, the cause. Sadhana, the effort that is put in by the sadhaka to reach what? Sadhyam. What is Sadhyam? Bhagavan, Brahman. And Devatas are also mentioned here, and the one who are protecting Dharma. And then finally, the very Swarupa of Bhagavan is indicated. Therefore, Saptavahanaha, this is the another version of this Nama, Saptavahana. Amurtihi. This is a very simple Nama. Murtihi, that which has a form. In the Vedas, the Rishis have given us what is called as Swarupa with Sarupa. Sarupa meaning what? Upasana with a Rupa. Like how we have Bhagavan Vishnu as the Rupa here. And you can add to yourself all your Ishta Devatas. A Rupa is given to indicate the Arupi Bhagavan. Here it is, he is called as Amurtihi. What does that mean? Murtihi Ghanarupam. Ghanarupa means as a form, as a solid form. Dharana Samartham Chara Charalakshanam. That Murti is that which can move. That Murti which has got action. That Murti which has got so many attributes. All these are indicated for Murtihi, and Bhagavan is Amurtihi. Earlier he was said as he is one who has got a rupa, sarupi we call. And now here it is indicated as amurtihi, the one who has no murti, meaning he is formless. Why do you say formless? Form indicates limitation and formless indicates the unlimited reality. But to understand the formless, unlimited reality, one has to go through the form. Therefore, the Ishta Devata Rupa is also given to us as a stepping stone to reach the formless. Param Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji would say, you can reach actionlessness only through action. You can reach the formless only through the upasana of a form. But the ultimate end, the destination, the final sadhya vastu is what? Amurtihi. Bhagavan is beyond all limitations. These limitations are as a beautiful stepping stone for a common mind which cannot comprehend Amurtihi. Therefore, a murti is presented to us, but then one has to move forward and reach the real Swarupa Lakshana of Bhagavan, which is Amurtihi. And it is said, Murti here is what compacted of body and limbs capable of perception, feelings, movement, etc. All attributes can be added to this for Murti. And Bhagavan is beyond all these attributes. Therefore, he is called as Amurtihi. Anaghaha, another very beautiful nama and very, very important nama, which has been earlier dealt also. Agham dukkham papancha dvayam asya. It has got both sin and sorrow because sin and sorrow belongs to the mind. Param Puja Gurudev, again, if I can draw his statement, he would say, sinner is not the important. Sin, what is the sin? The reaction. Every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. One must never hate people for their, hate the sinner, but hate the sin. That means the attitude with which they perform the action. With selfish attitudes is what is meant by sin. And therefore, the one who no more has ahankara, with which he probably may perform so many actions which are not acceptable or whatsoever. Agham, dukkham, the one who performs actions, wrong actions, and the dukkha, the sorrow, which is the byproduct of wrong actions, which is otherwise called as papam, cha dvayam asya na vidyate. To Bhagavan, there is nothing. He is actually akarta abhokta. He is only the presence. I gave this example earlier, probably 2-3 times. When I drive the car, without the presence of the petrol, the car will not move. But the petrol is not responsible for the car meeting with an accident or winning a Grand Prix. Petrol is only the energizer. Similarly, Bhagavan is only the enlivening principle. He has no papa or punya also. That is why in Tulsi Ramayana, which I quote very often, it is said, Shantam Shashvatam Aprameyam Anagham Nirvana Shanti Pradam. The one who is peace itself. Shashvatam Shantam. And the center of the line says Anagham, which is very important. And it is this Anagha which leads to Nirvana Shanti. And the one who is Anagha alone can give Nirvana Shanti to others. Therefore, Anagha, Bhagavan, is one who is without any kind of sin or sorrow, who has no kartrutva, bhoktrutva, ityadi bhavanaha. Achintyaha. Chintana is nothing but thoughts. And thoughts itself is the mind. We have seen this earlier. Mind is not the container of thoughts. Thoughts itself is the mind. And it is only through this vehicle called mind that we are able to transact in the world outside. And while we are transacting in the world outside this mind, we gather all kind of knowledge in this world. And therefore, mind which gathers the knowledge in the world is limited, and the knowledge gathered of the world is also limited. A limited mind cannot comprehend the unlimited Bhagavan. Think. I can comprehend this is a clock. I can comprehend. Why? The eyes can see. I can recognize that there is a clock. This is all about it. I can recognize a computer. I can recognize a vigraha. I can recognize a TV, a camera. All these can be recognized because they are also very limited. And I, which is slightly better than the limited forms, is definitely subtle, no doubt. At the same time, it is limited. I by itself cannot see. Go one step behind. It is a mind which sees through the eyes. Again, mind is also limited. Therefore, mind which sees through the eyes, again the limited aspects of life, cannot comprehend that which is unlimited. A beautiful example is given. There is one vessel, let us say, with rice, let us say. There is a vessel with rice. And there is a spoon with which we serve rice. The spoon is always smaller. The vessel containing rice, the rice may be full, but the spoon is always smaller than the vessel. How can a small spoon can take the entire material from the vessel? Think, a small spoon can only take only that much and serve. Isn't it? Spoon cannot take the whole rice. Everything will fall out. Similarly, a mind which is very small, how can it comprehend the entire unlimited Bhagavan? Not possible. Therefore it is said, Achintyaha, the one who is unthinkable in a manner of saying, Pramatradi Sakshitvena Sarva Pramana Gocharatvat Achintyaha. Bhagavan is the very witness. Bhagavan is the one who is the cause. It is only with the presence of Bhagavan that the eyes can see, the mind can comprehend, mind can perceive. And the cause for the mind to perceive is Bhagavan. Therefore, how can an effect see the cause? Like for example, I can see everything. I means eyes. The eyes can see everything, but if the eyes has to see itself, Swamiji, I go in front of a mirror. Earlier we had discussed. In front of the mirror when I go, what I see is not the eyes, but I see the reflection of the eyes. When I see the reflection of the eyes, they are not the actual eyes, because eye cannot see itself. Therefore, Bhagavan, who is the very cause behind, who is the enlivening principle behind all this whole universe, cannot be thought by a limited mind. Is it not? Therefore, he is called Achintyaha, incomprehensible. By what? With the limited mind. One has to go beyond this limited mind to comprehend the incomprehensible. Therefore, he is called as Achintyaha. Ayam idrishaha iti vishwa prapancha vilakshanattvena chintayitum ashakyatvat, not possible to think. What? Chintayitum ashakyatvat. What is that? I am idrishaha. Bhagavan is like this. Iti vishwaprapancha vilakshanattvena. The way I discuss about the world, the way I declare the world, the way I identify the world, like that, I cannot identify Bhagavan with the same mind. It requires me to transcend the limitations of the mind. Therefore, Acharya says, hence, achintyaha, he cannot be comprehended. Bhayakrit. Kriti meaning what? The one who creates. What? Bhaya. Asanmargavartinam. The one who follow wrong path. Asanmargavartinam. Bhayam karoti. He creates fear in all those who trek the path of indiscipline, adharma, ityadi. He is the one who creates fear. Isn't it very true? If you see the Puranas, all the Rakshasas have lived with fear only. Why? Because they are adharma margis. They trek the path of adharma. Therefore, there is always a fear. Even in our Laukika life, when we do something wrong, our own inner mind, our own subconscious, will be with fear. Why? Oh, what if others come to know? This is the first level. What if others come to know? My image will go away. My prestige will go away. Like that, our mind thinks. When the same mind has trekked the path of adharma. And therefore, the one who goes asanmargavartinam bhayam karoti. Bhagavan in fact, one very interesting point is, it is not that Bhagavan instills bhayam. This is a manner of saying to bring in some kind of a resentment from going towards adharma marga. Our own actions itself brings bhaya. Think. We ourselves are fearing our own actions very many times. But then the force of vasana, the force of demand, the force of desire pushes us to act. Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha, says Arjuna. Bhagavan says asamshayam mahabaho. Definitely. Because mind is mind. Therefore, the one who treks the wrong path will definitely be filled with fear. Bhayam karoti. Bhaktanam bhayam kritanti itiva bhayakrita. As far as the bhaktas are concerned, devotees are concerned, he destroys the fear. In one case, he instills fear. In the other case, he destroys the fear of the bhaktas who walk sanmarga, who walk the path of dharma. And therefore, Bhagavan is both bhayakrita and bhayanashanaha. In the next nama it is said, he destroys. Varnashama acharavatam bhayam nashayati. Iti bhayanashanaha. Acharya gives a different meaning because he has already given in the previous nama both the meanings. Bhayakrita and bhayanashana also. Therefore, then again bhayanashana meaning what? He says, varnashrama acharavatam. To those who follow dharma as per their duties. See, who destroys the fear of those who are steadfast in the duties of their varna and ashrama. The one who is completely given to his own swadharma. To such people, Bhagavan removes all fear and helps them, gives them more energy, more power to walk that path of dharma. Therefore, bhayakrita, bhayanashanaha. Continuing. Anurbrihat krishasthulo guna bhrnirguno mahan adhritasvadhritasvasyah pragvamsho vamshavardhanah. Anurbrihat krishasthulo guna bhrnirguno mahan adhritasvadhritasvasyah pragvamsho vamshavardhanah. A shloka with the 12 beautiful names of Bhagavan starts by saying Anuhu. Now you will find the 4 namas together here represents, or rather denies that Bhagavan can be looked with form, and it also gives us the indication he cannot be looked as a form. It denies a form of Bhagavan from the essential nature standpoint. We have to look at it from 2 standpoints. First standpoint is our own understanding with the limited mind. But the essential nature of Bhagavan denies all kinds of attributes, all kinds of forms which are told here in the first 4 namas in the shloka. Saukshmya atishayashalitvat anuhu, the one who is infinitesimally, there is a pronunciation mistake probably, one who is limited, one who is small are the jivas. Bhagavan who is unlimited, he is infinite. Anuhu means very small, atom. Atom meaning what? The smallest. Micro atom they say. All these are attributions to the worldly aspects. Bhagavan, he is no doubt Anuhu from the standpoint of what? He is very, very small and subtle. Very subtle. He is a very essence which cannot be brought into a shape. Anuhu. Immediately it is said, Bhagavan is Brihat. Bhagavan is the biggest. Idea here is to clear the conceptualization of Bhagavan. The mind can only conceptualize. Like for example, this Murti of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is in this form. The mind can comprehend. Mind can conceptualize. Isn't it? We have various Ishta Devatas. All of us have got our own Devatas. And we enjoy the Leela of such Devata. That is all at the initial level, primary level. But actually, from the essential nature of Bhagavan, Bhagavan cannot be compartmentalized. Bhagavan cannot be conceptualized. To break this conceptualization of Bhagavan, all this paradox is given. One is what? Anu, smallest of the smallest, subtlest of the subtlest. Brihad, he is infinitely big, indicating he is the all-pervading reality of the entire universe. So one cannot conceptualize whether Bhagavan is very small only, or Bhagavan is too big, huge, like a boulder, like a mountain, etc., etc. Those concepts cannot come. Therefore, he is subtle, he is Brihat. Both are given. The next nama is Krishaha. Very beautiful. What is Krishaha? Krishaha means the one who is very thin. Some people are there who are so very thin. In fact, in our during our course, there was one person who was very skinny. It is as though there was one bone and then one cloth was tied around him. We used to initially crack jokes and things like that. Don't go where there is lot of air. You might break and fall. Ityadi, we tease him. Very, very thin. And the next nama, now in this here is Asthulam Ityadina Dravyatva pratishodhat krishaha, the one who is very thin. That is the meaning. The next one is sthulaha. Sthula means what? The one who is very, very big. One is very, very fat, we may say. So we have such people. And therefore the thinner person people used to call, he is trying to compete nature and he wants to become invisible truth, meaning becoming smaller, thinner. One day you will become invisible. And the other person, he is only becoming fatter, eating more and more. He's although as though competing to become all-pervading reality. Like that we used to tease our brahmacharis. Bhagavan is neither thin nor is fat. Another way of saying, Bhagavan is the thinnest and he is the fattest. So these paradoxes are given only to indicate Bhagavan is not conceptual, cannot be conceptualized. He is beyond all such concepts. Sthulaha, asthulam ityadina dravyatva pratishodhat. He is fat, very gross. Gunabhrita meaning what? Sattvam, rajas, tamasam, srishti sthitihi, layaha, karmasu, adhishthanatritvat, gunabhrita. The one who is the very adhisthana, one who is the very adhara, one who is the very substratum, the locus of all gunas put together. Therefore, the one who possesses gunas, attributes. Again, we have to understand this very clearly. The focus here, when we say he has got qualities, is like, for example, we have got so many devatas. Krishna exhibits these qualities. Rama, Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram. When we say Ramchandraji is depicted with these qualities. All qualities which are nothing but virtues. From the standpoint of the Saguna Upasana, qualities are being mentioned so that we may follow them. We may take those qualities, imbibe those qualities to become more noble. And nobility brings Chitta Shuddhi. Therefore, deities are given with so many qualities. So, he is Gunabhrita, the one who has gunas as though. But at the same time, he does not possess guni. He is not a guni. According to us, the deities have got gunas. But from his essential standpoint, he is not a guni. He is Trigunatita, the one who is beyond Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. However, he is Gunabhrita. And then it is said, Nirgunaha. What is Nirgunaha? The one who is free from all qualities. From his essential nature standpoint, he is free from all qualities. But from the Upasana standpoint, he is been attributed with certain qualities for the sake of the sadhaka to grow. From that standpoint, he is presented as though with gunas. Bhagavan has no problem. He says, okay, if that is going to help you, you take me that way. He gives us the permission. Right? He is guni, at the same time, he is nirgunaha. Mahan. This is a very beautiful nama. Shabdadi gunarahitatvat niratishaya sukshmatvat nitya shuddha sarvagatattvadina cha pratibandhakaha dharmajatam tarkato api yato vaktum na shakyam. With tarka we cannot define Bhagavan. And all those we have just now, subtle, big, thin, fat, all these gunas does not actually belong to Bhagavan, but with all that, Bhagavan is very great. Here the idea here is, Bhagavan is Mahan. Bhagavan is great. Great in what terms? Great in all possible terms. In all possible meanings, Bhagavan is Bhagavan. Isn't it? All of us alpajivis. Bhagavan is the supreme. Therefore, he is great. Adhritaha. What is adhritaha? Prithivyaadinam dharakanam api dharakatvat na kenachit dhriyate iti adhritaha. The one who is the dharanakanam, the one who is the adhishtana, adhara, and these things, as you can see, the meanings are repeated with the different names. He is the adhishtana, therefore adhritaha. At the same time, swadhritaha. He is the adhishtana for all and sundry in this universe to exist. Without him, none of them exist. But who is the adhishtana for the God? He doesn't have any adhishta. Therefore it is said, swadhritaha yadyevam ayam kena dharyate ityashakyaha aha svenaiva atmana dharyate. He is a very adhishtana for himself. He doesn't have another support. He himself is a support and he supports himself. Self-existent, self-sustaining and self-supporting. Therefore he is called as swadhritaha. He doesn't require an external support. Swasyaha, another very beautiful nama. Vedatmakaha mahan Shabdarashi, it is Sha there. Shabdarashihi tasya mukhat nirgataha purushartha padeshartham iti swasyaha. One from whose mouth came the Upadeshas. One from whom the whole Vedas came. And Vedas lead us to the four Purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Moksha also is given by Bhagavan only. Through what? Through Veda. Veda is the Pramanam. And through Vedas alone we can reach that Supreme Bhagavan. And those Vedas are given by Bhagavan himself to the Rishis. Therefore, he is called as Swasyaha. And the next one is Pragvamshaha. Prag means in the beginning. Vamsha started after Bhagavan, not before Bhagavan. It is from Bhagavan everything started. The Raghu Vamsha, Yadu Vamsha, Ityadi Vamsha started from Bhagavan. So Bhagavan existed before Vamsha. Anyasya Vamshinaha Vamshaha Paschatya Asya Vamshaha. Prapanchaha prageva na paschatyaha iti pragvamshaha. As Vamsha of Bhagavan is Prag. Bhagavan is Prag. Before every Vamsha started. Therefore he is called Pragvamshaha. Vamsha Vardhanaha. Vardhana means the one who brings glory, the one who increases, one who is a developer, etc. We may say Vamsha Vardhanaha, who brings in glory, who brings in, what is the right word for that? Vamsha Vardhanaha. Vriddhi, the one who develops, one who expands, that is written here. Vamsha Prapancham Vardhayan Chedayan Va Vamsha Vardhanaha, the one who expands and even withdraws. Both. Therefore, he is called Vamsha Vardhanaha. With this, we will conclude for today. We will continue tomorrow. Please remember, from tomorrow it will be 1 hour. The talks will be for 1 hour. We will complete in this series. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.